Was good, y'all. Rich Sosa coming back at y'all with another banger, man. Back in the building, and I just want to say thank y'all so much to the Rich gang as well as any new supporters coming through for the very first time. Man, today I'm going to be dropping y'all the top 3 rarest small forwards on NBA 2K21 current gen. But before we get into the making of them, man, y'all already know what y'all need to do. If it's your very first time, be sure to hit that sub button if you're new. To the Rich gang as well as any new supporters, go ahead and hit that like button. It helps me out so much. And last but not least, do not forget to turn on post noties so y'all can catch tomorrow's banger as well. Now, when it comes to this pie chart for this build, what you want to go ahead and do is pick the pure playmaking one. A lot of these builds are going to be rare and also found out of the playmaking pie chart. This year, I feel like a lot of people did sleep on the pure playmaking pie chart when it comes to current gen, and that is why you find so many rare and new builds out of them. So let's go ahead and get right into the stats now. When it comes to the finishing, what you want to go ahead and do is max out your first 3 categories right there. Now, when it comes to your post hook and standing dunk, what you want to go ahead and do is raise either of these 2 stats to where you're going to get 4 finishing badges, and from here you're going to leave it like that. Now, when it comes to the shooting, go ahead and max out every single thing on this category except your post fade, y'all. Now, if you want to, go ahead and do so, but I'm going to put it to where I get 11 shooting badges for this build. Now, let's go ahead and get into the playmaking. First, what you want to go ahead and do is max out your ball handle at an 85. When it comes to the pass accuracy, we're going to go ahead and put this to exactly 82. And then when it comes to the post moves, I'm going to go ahead and leave it off. That's going to give you 27 playmaking badges right here already. And then now we actually have 200 attributes pretty much left over for the defense. So what you want to go ahead and do is max out every single thing when it comes to the first 5 categories. Go ahead and skip your offensive rebound. From there, what you're going to go ahead and do is max out your defensive at 71 and bring up the offensive to a 52. And that's going to give us 10 defensive badges. Really balanced for a rare build. When it comes to the body shape, in my opinion, Burley is going to be really nice. Now, when it comes to the height, weight, and wingspan on these builds, go ahead and go based off of what you like. But if you want to follow along and make the build exactly as I am showing y'all, go ahead and do so. But again, I'm just going to say, if you feel like experimenting with any of these builds, I am going to guarantee you that you can make them more out of different heights, weights, and wingspans, y'all. It all just comes down to what you want to do. I'm playing it how I like this build made best. And as y'all can see with these takeovers, we do get 4 of the very best takeovers in this game. We do get the lockdown, slashing, shot creating, and then on top of that, we get the playmaking. In my opinion, the lockdown is going to make every single build that can get it much more overpowered. And as y'all can see, we have made the offensive-minded wing, y'all. So something to take into consideration before you make this build is that if you go with the lowest wingspan, you're going to be able to unlock that sharpshooting takeover. If you decide to go with the highest and max that wingspan, the best thing about this is that we are going to be able to get that lockdown takeover. So we got options when it comes to making these rare builds. Let's go ahead and get into the next rare small forward. And this is going to be the shot blocking wing, y'all. So of course, if y'all were paying attention, you already know what position we are going to be making this build out of. It is going to be the small forward. But a couple things that I want to go over about this build as well. So when it comes to the shooting on this build, you are definitely going to be able to hit some shots. When it comes to the defense, I'm telling you, that is my favorite thing about this build, especially the fact that it goes with the build name. I think that is super cool. Let's go ahead and get into the making of it now. So when it comes to the pie chart that you want to go ahead and pick, you definitely do not want to change this up, because when it comes to these builds, they are strictly only made out of one pie chart when it comes to these small forwards. I'm going to be going with the one split right down the middle with the shooting and the defense. The option is really up to y'all if you want to experiment and try to change it up. But when it comes to the physical profile, in my opinion, I'm going to go with the one that is most balanced. And that's going to be the one right here with the 77 speed and also the 76 acceleration and an 82 vertical. Now, when it comes to the stats, let's go ahead and get right into it. We're going to be maxing out our close shot, driving layup, driving dunk, as well as our standing dunk. Now, when it comes to the post hook, we are not going to touch that, but that's going to give us 7 finishing badges. Now, on the shooting side of things, I told y'all we're going to be able to shoot with this build. So go ahead and max out the first 3 categories and put your post fade to a 56, and that's going to give us 16 badges. Now, we're going to go ahead and skip the playmaking, but go ahead and max out the first 5 categories for the defense as well. And then from here, we're going to bring up our offensive rebound to a 54 for 21 defensive badges. From here, you could go ahead and raise your post hook even more to get an extra finishing badge. And honestly, if you want to change anything about this build up, you can definitely do so. But honestly, I feel like if you're going to make any change about this build, it should be between whether you want an extra badge on the shooting or the finishing. Everything else I would leave as is. But let's go ahead and get into the height, weight, and wingspan. When it comes to this build, again, you can change it up if you want to. But for the height on this build, I'm going to be real. I like 6'8" or even 6'10", but 6'9" in my opinion is going to be the most balanced out of those three heights. When it comes to the weight, again, you could go with the lowest, or you can raise it to where you still get a pretty good strength as well as your vertical. Same thing with your speed and acceleration. You want to make sure that all of these stats are going hand in hand with each other. Now, when it comes to the weight, if you want to raise it, you could go with the max as well as raise your wingspan to the max. But if you don't want to do that, you necessarily do not need to. If you want to go with 6'10", you could even go with this version of the build to try to change it up. And honestly, 6'10" with a 80 speed at 99 overall plus that gym rat badge is going to be very overpowered. There are a couple different ways that you can go about making this build. Again, if you want to make it exactly as I am showing y'all, go ahead and follow along. But with these three takeovers, in my opinion, glass cleaning or lockdown is going to be the best. And as y'all can see, we have made the shot blocking wing, y'all. So we have one more rare build to get through. Let's go ahead and get right into it now. I saved the best for last, and this is going to be the 3ND wing, y'all. I love this build, yes, because of the name, but honestly, 3ND reminds me of a rebounding wing back in 2K20. We all know how overpowered those were, and I feel like, in my opinion, this build is really going to represent that. So again, before we get into the making, man, if y'all are still watching, I just want to say thank y'all so much. But go ahead and drop a like right now. It helps me out. I'm going to go ahead and drop another banger tomorrow, so do not forget to put on those post notifications. But let's go ahead and discuss a few things about this build really quick. Now, in my opinion, I said this is going to be the best version of them all. The defense is literally better than any of the past two builds. The finishing is much better, and then on top of that, we do get a pretty high 3-ball as well as the mid-range, y'all. So again, this build, in my opinion, out of all three of these small forwards, is going to be the best overall rare build. Now, of course, we have to go ahead and make this build under the small forward position again, but do not worry. If you want to make a 3ND out of a different position, you definitely can do so. You can do it out of the shooting guard or even the point guard. If y'all want that, go ahead and drop a like, and you know that I will bring it to y'all. But now let's go ahead and get into the making of this build. So the pie chart that we are going to be picking when it comes to the 3ND wing, if you thought correctly, it's going to be the one split right down the middle with the defense as well as the shooting. Now, when it comes to the physical profile, for any build that is going to be focused on defense a lot, I love to go with a balanced setup on the physicals. So I'm going to go with the one of 77 speed, acceleration is going to be 76, and that vertical is going to be an 82. Now, let's go ahead and get into these stats. When it comes to the finishing, we're actually going to go ahead and max out our close shot, driving layup, and driving dunk. From there, our standing dunk is going to go up to a 48, and that's going to give us 4 finishing badges. Now, when it comes to the mid-range shot, this is going to be a 74. Three-pointer is going to be a 75. Free throw an 88, and our post fade is going to be a 79. That is 18 shooting badges, but consider this build, once you grind it out to 99, that's a +4. Then you're going to buy boost. That's another +5. So +9 in total, y'all. Really nice shooting stats. And also, when you come to the playmaking side of things, go ahead and max out every single thing except your post moves. We're going to go ahead and put that to a 40 for 6 playmaking badges. And then when it comes to the defense, max out your perimeter defense, lateral quickness, steal, and then your defensive rebound. From here, with the last couple of badges or attributes, you can change it up if you want to, or you could put it in any category that you feel comfortable with. As long as you feel comfortable with the setup you're going with, you're going to be perfectly fine. When it comes to the body shape, I feel like Bradley is going to be good for any build that's going to be focused on defense. Then when it comes to the height, I'm going to be going with 6'5", but honestly, this is adjustable. And then when it comes to the weight, I'm going to be going with 181, or you could even go with the lowest. It really just comes down to what you are comfortable with and what you like. Now, when it comes to this wingspan, this is going to be a crucial area of the build. So what you want to go ahead and do is put it to a 78.8, or you can take a risk and go with the max if you want to go that route. In my opinion, I'm going to go ahead and leave it like this at 78.8. And the takeovers we get are the lockdown, sharpshooting, playmaking, and shot creating. I'm going to go ahead and leave it up to y'all. But this is the final build that we are making. And as y'all can see, we have made the 3ND Wing, y'all. Feel free to change anything about these builds, but shout out to the Rich Gang, and thank y'all to any new supporters for coming through for the very first time. I just want y'all to know I'm dropping another banger tomorrow, but man, y'all already know what y'all need to do. Be sure to hit that sub button if you're new. To the Rich Gang family, as well as any new supporters, be sure to run up those likes. It helps me out so much, and I appreciate it. Go ahead and share this banger with your family and friends, and last but not least, be sure to turn on post notice so y'all can see when I upload every single day. Man, with all that being said, I got one last thing to say. Rich out.